It's for the Skeeter Owners Tournament right here at Lake Fork. It's Thursday night, man. Cheers, y'all. Let's get some top baits and go catch some big bass. That's right. Brown water tastes delicious on a Thursday night, man. I hope all you guys are doing well tonight. As you get in here, do me a favor. Drop me a like if you enjoy these live streams that we do every week. Also, drop me a comment. Let me know who we're talking to. And if you don't mind, go ahead and share this. Let's get as many people as we can talking fishing on a Thursday night. We're just getting it's like a little delay going on tonight with some of y'all joining us. We'll see what's up. We got Southeast Bassin and Tony Maynard are the first two in the door. Hey, idiot, there we go. Now some folks are popping in. Here we go. So Skeeter Owners Tournament this weekend. It's going to be a big weekend. Huge event every year. Skeeter does such a great job putting it on. It's hands down the best bass boat owners event that exists in our industry. Just a great job, man. They treat you guys like touring professionals. They got the service trailers lined up. They get it going. It's an awesome event. They do a tremendous job with it. It's on the greatest trophy bass fishing lake of all time. I mean, what more could you possibly ask for than what goes on at the Skeeter Owners event this weekend? So good luck to all of you guys. We're going to see if we can help you tonight. Let me say some hellos and how you doing. Now that we're getting a few more to join us, let's say some hellos and how you doing to the early risers, as we like to do. We got Tony Maynard, Dan Freitas, Don Den, John Maxfield. Me and John Maxfield going fishing tomorrow morning, actually. I'm going to John's house at 6 something in the morning, and we going fishing. Dusty Newton's in the house, John Denny, Mel Moore, Super Dave, Dusty Smith, Casey and Gaby, Express Jack. There we freaking go. Justin Miner, yo, what's up, big dog? Tony Maynard says he's coming from Arp, Texas to go fish the SOT, the Skeeter Owners Tournament. Man, things are changing. It's so funny. I just put out a video last night trying to help everybody catch fish, and golly, things are changing. We got some sunshine and some warm weather for a couple days in a row, and boy, does it have the bite changing. Some shallow water fish that I've really been able to count on as being pretty consistent. My most consistent areas have, we caught a couple fish in them this morning, had some bites, but they weren't nearly as good as they have been. Those areas faded. Another shallow area that is traditionally more of a summertime shallow haunt kicked off a lot better today than it has been. So the bite's definitely changing. They're trying to get into summer patterns fast is what I'm seeing happen. So we're going to talk about that tonight and how you can go about catching these fish and a couple adjustments you guys can make on the fly this weekend if you need to. Had to get that old lucky lipper in there, you know what I mean? I don't like doing it in front of the camera. I don't know why. It's like, you guys all know I'm dipping, but I don't know, something about the kids or I don't know, something. So, like I said, things are starting to get into more of a traditional summertime pattern. The key component if you're fishing shallow is 1,000% underwater vegetation, submergent vegetation. Hydrilla and coontail is what we're talking about in Lake Fork, primarily coontail, little bits of hydrilla if you know where to look for them. If you're going to fish shallow, you're going to want to find that underwater vegetation. That's such a key component. And I want to talk to you guys about shallow first, because for me, if I was fishing this event, there's not a ton of fish out deep just yet. There's some probably moving the last couple days, and I stayed shallow all day today. And there's probably more getting out on the offshore structure, but also with the owners tournament and with modern electronics, it seems to me that the offshore structure is literally more crowded than the shallow water stuff. And you can be more productive and catch more and bigger fish shallow than you can offshore right now. So let's talk about the baits that we're using up shallow. The Wacky Worm is still a very key component, especially if you're struggling up shallow. Like if you're up shallow and you've got the vegetation, you see some activity, you see some bait fish, signs of bait fish in the area, you've seen some fish chasing, even if they're small or whatever. So you feel like you're in a good shallow area. It's got the grass, got the life, everything's good, but you can't get bit. Slow down with a Wacky Worm. This is a watermelon red magic trick worm. I've been mostly using the Divine Shaky Head worm in green pumpkin. I ran out of my Cali Magic Red. Today it was really sunny today. I ran out of my Cali Magic Red Divine Shaky Head worm, so I had to start throwing the watermelon red magic trick worm. Otherwise it would be a Divine Shaky Head worm on there. But the Wacky Worm is still a key component, especially in periods of inactivity or in areas where you're seeing all the good signs but you just can't get bit. The Wacky Worm will save your day. But something they bit really well today, well, they started biting it really well. My customers today were new to this weedless swim bait underspin gig, and they struggled hooking up on them. They were getting bites, and on that swim bait they'll bump it before they eat it a lot, and they were pulling the trigger too fast, honestly, on this swim bait. But the little Smash Tech hollow body and light hitch got more bites than everything else combined today, and that's super exciting. That is a traditional summertime shallow water pattern on Lake Fork for me over the last few years since this bait's been around. 5-aught under flashy swimmer, Smash Tech hollow belly and light hitch, and you can just bulldog it through anything, man. Throw it out there, point the rod right down the line, point the rod right at the bait, and it'll reel through any type of vegetation, lily pads, flood, it doesn't matter. You can reel it through anything. And numbers of fish bite it, but big fish bite it. You could catch a money-winning fish on either side of the slot limit on this bait tomorrow or Saturday and Sunday. No doubt about it. This is a bait. If you're going to fish shallow, you're going to want to throw this bait a bunch this weekend. Once they start biting that deal in the summer, they really don't quit for the entire summer. It's about as effective, and it's so easy to fish and so efficient in any type of cover. It's just a really, really, really good tool to have in your arsenal when they go to biting it. Now, another bait that they bit up shallow for me today is something that we haven't talked about in a very, very, very long time on this channel. I don't know that I've ever talked about this bait on this channel, but it's an old-timey top secret guide bait for me from back in the day before I was even guiding. So I had top secret guide baits. You know how you know I'm a good fishing guide? I had top secret guide fishing baits before I was even a fishing guide, Jack. Totally being sarcastic, by the way, but yeah. Anyways, it's going to look simple at first when you see it. This is a ribbit frog, right? But this is a little different. Look at the size of it, folks. This is called the bull ribbit. Bull ribbit. This is a big ribbit frog. The size of it doesn't really matter to me. I don't care about that. It's the sound. And with the bigger tail, the bigger legs on this bull-sized ribbit, you can slow it down and fish it slower than you can a regular ribbit, and especially slower than you can a horny toad. I really like a horny toad, but today they wouldn't bite the horny toad. I threw it, but the ribbit they did bite, and they bit it pretty good there for a little while. I had a little bit of a short time with the ribbit. I picked it up towards the end of my trip today, but when I picked it up, they bit it pretty good. And that's really exciting because that's a bite I haven't been on in a while. But that bull ribbit can be special. It just makes a different noise with those bigger legs behind it, and it gets a bigger fish to bite. And you can still catch your unders on it, no problem. So scattered lily pads, scattered vegetation, we have lots of that in areas on Lake Fork right now. The bull ribbit and the Smash Tech hollow body were our two biggest key players today, no doubt about it. And I think as long as we, keep it a little warm, keep the water, keep the weather a little warm, get some, I know we're supposed to have rain tomorrow, but if we can get a little sunshine, man, that seemed to make all the difference in changing the patterns the last couple of days, and really started putting these fish into some more predictable, more grouped up summertime type of deals. So towards the end of our trip today, the fish were in one area. We started isolating them into one section of one area, and we were starting to get some bites consistently in that area right at the end of our trip, and it was like a really good sign to see. It was the first time it started to feel the way it should this time of year as far as the way the fish were behaving, and it was really exciting. So that swim bait, that bull ribbit frog, man, that's two tools. If you got them, you're going to be in good shape tomorrow. Let's talk about offshore structure fishing, because that is going to be a viable option. The Carolina rig's the best bait offshore right now. 100% it is. And really this deal right here, the Flush 5.2, or if you prefer other fluke saw baits, that's fine. About to sneeze. Don't sneeze, Bill. Don't sneeze. I didn't sneeze. Good job. Winning excellence in all endeavors. The Flush 5.2 fluke style bait, man, great bait. I don't even know what this color. I'm so bad at knowing names of these colors, but it's like got a green back, a little bit of a clear belly, but it's got some blue flake in there that's not really going to show up on this junky old cracked screen phone camera that's got two of me doing the juju on that beat in here. But fluke style bait on the Carolina rig, get it done offshore. As far as depth goes, man, they're deeper. In some areas, they're deeper than you think. They're 25 to 30 in some areas. They're really deep in some areas. which is normal. They do that every time when they first get offshore before the thermocline sets up. They'll set up a little deeper than you think they will. So look in some of those even deeper than normal spots at 25 to 30 foot. Find them on your electronics and get that Carolina rig going out there. You'll catch some fish doing that, and really can catch a lot of good numbers of unders out there. There's good schools of unders offshore right now. Traditionally, you know, you go out there to catch the bigger fish, but there's some really good schools of unders offshore. And of course, when you're fishing main lake, deep water on Lake Fork, you never know when old girl is going to show up and show out. So one other thing that you guys can do for the Skeeter Owners Tournament, now this deal's only going to last for the first 30 minutes or hour, maybe 2 hours if it's cloudy enough. There's still some shad spawn going on. If you're driving around the lake first thing in the morning and you see some birds lined up on a bank with some wind blowing on it, go there. Go there and pick up a square bill. About a crushed 200 size square bill has been the best one. We were using the 3.8 mini mag earlier in the year. Here lately, the crushed 200 has been better, a little bit smaller. I think the shad that are still remaining spawning and gathering up in these shallow areas, I think they're a little bit smaller shad than we're gathering before. So the crushed 200 has been the ticket over the 3.8 mini mag. Just a little bit smaller. It's like a 2.0 size versus the 3.8 or 4.0 size. So it's just a little bit smaller square bill, but still a big square bill, and still, I mean, it's been the best one for me here lately. So that's how you do it. That's the baits. That's the techniques. Let's answer some questions and some comments. See what's going on in the chat tonight. Chase Clark, what's up, big dog? Texas Air Gunner says, I want to fish the Skeeter tournament. Who wants a co-angler? For some reason, Ranger boats just aren't allowed. Ain't no Ranger boats allowed in this one, Jack. Somebody, if anybody has an open seat in their boat, holler at Texas Air Gunner. So grouped up, is it spoon time yet? Man, you know, Troy, this is all happening like as of the last day or two. I did not get a chance to go offshore. We stayed shallow throughout our day-to-day. And so I didn't get a chance to go out deep and see if they are grouping up out deep as well. They really haven't been grouped out deep. They've been little small packs. I'm not saying that you won't go out and catch a fish on a spoon, but the offshore fish that I've been catching over the last week or two, the Carolina rig's been the best bait, hands down. Cody Mays in the house. Maxfield says, are we doing a lip challenge somewhere? Hell no, I ain't doing no. I'm never doing a lip challenge again. I'm 2-0 in those, and I don't want to lose that one. That's where you put spike it on your mustache, on your top lip. I don't want to lose that one. Maverick Walker, will you fish the Skeeter tournament? I'm not allowed. Guides are not allowed to fish the Skeeter Owners Tournament. Mel Mole, I don't know if I believe that comment, but I appreciate it. It's raining in Houston again. God dang. Hopefully Rayburn don't catch any more of it, but I'm sure it will. Chase Clark says he just got off Cedar Creek and the white bass are on fire. Chase, man, I love you, dog, but who freaking cares about white bass? My kids, they like catching them. That's about it. I don't know. I'm not a white bass fan. Give me some green bass, dog. Caught a 767 on Cedar Creek. That's a good one, dude. Hell yeah. That's a big one. Hey, we got a free seminar tomorrow night at Lake Fork Marina. If you guys are in the area, and I know a lot of you are for the Owners Tournament, but come see us at Lake Fork Marina tomorrow at 6 p.m. Free seminar. Sure would appreciate it if y'all stop by. Also, our 22 kill benefit tournament. Man, if you want to fish the Your Lake Fork Guide second annual tournament, it's coming up July 3rd. You can go get registered right now at fishlife.net. The life is spelled with a Y, L-Y-F-E. But you can go get pre-registered for our Your Lake Fork Guide Fish Life tournament July 3rd by going to fishlife.net right now. Get ready for a bunch of white bass at Ray Bob next week. Yeah, I seen they had some in there. I seen there was plenty of white bass at Ray Roberts. That's right, the Classic's coming up. Light line fishing. What's up, big dog? Tony Maynard says he doesn't have any hollow belly smash techs. He's going to try the Kitex that he has in his boat. That'll probably work. At 6 cents Divine swim bait would probably work as well. Man, I was throwing that hollow body today, and that's just, man, I really love that bait. It's so good. It's got such a unique, fast action wiggle to the whole body. It's a really, really unique swimming style on that little swim bait that I showed you. It's really, really good. But I'm sure they'll bite other swim baits as well. I'm sure they will. Man, y'all have some questions. Surely y'all have some. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to have the shortest live stream ever. What's the water at Fairfield looking like? Anyone been there this week? I haven't been to Fairfield in forever. I would imagine it's always, the water clarity is always super good at Fairfield. It doesn't hardly get any flow even when it rains real hard. Doesn't have any major tributaries running into it. A lot of grass in it. I can't imagine the water's dirty at Fairfield. Don Den says, thanks for the great tip on the shad and the birds. Got into a bunch of 4-pounders on Twin Buttes. Hell yeah, brother. Topwater yet? Yeah, topwater's going. Yeah, you can definitely catch fish on topwaters. The 6-inch catwalk, and that's pretty much been the more effective topwater. It's been really good. I've been throwing that square bill more around the shad deal than I have the topwater, but they will bite the topwater too. That square bill, I can just fish it so fast. And on shad spawn deal, speed is a key component. The faster you can catch them, faster you can get that bait in and out, the faster, more you're going to catch. What hook was that in the bull rivet? That is a 5/0 6-cent stout extra wide gap hook. So a 5/0 EWG 6-cent stout hook. Really, really good. It fits it really, really well. It hooked the fish that bit really well today. I didn't miss any of them. What is it about that C-Rig fluke that works? Is that the only bite for it? Would think other baits would be good too. Yeah, you know, there's times where they're going to bite like the creature baits, like the hog wallow, or traditionally for me, a brush hog's always been a Carolina rig bait, but the hog wallow's taken over that for me, the 6-cent hog wallow. But it's a different presentation. And I use that Flush 5.2. I've used that Impact Shad. They're on one or the other better. You know, they probably catch some on either one, but they're usually on one better than the other. It's just two different actions behind the Carolina rig. John Maxfield says he's got a question. Do I think that I'm going to outfish him tomorrow? Absolutely. I mean, who shows up planning on getting second? Yeah, of course I'm going to outfish you. I always do, as far as I don't ever remember you outfishing me. Like, I'm not saying it hasn't happened, but I sure have forgotten it. Best place to start out in the mornings. Well, if you see the birds on a windblown bank, that's it. If you can find a shad spawn still going on, that's 100% the best place to start. What jig heads do I use on an A-rig? My jig heads for an A-rig are 1/8 ounce 6-cent Divine swim bait heads. By the way, I mentioned in a lot of 6-cent fishing baits, you guys know that I fish them adamantly, and I am sponsored by them, but I believe in their product, and I've made good evidence of their product in a lot of fish catches on camera. If you go to order any of these baits, go order them at 6centfishing.com, and when you do, punch in the code Your Lake Fork Guide, you'll get a 10% discount on all orders. If you're fishing the tournament, do you fish for the big girl and one big bite, or running gun for unders? Right now I'm gonna target unders. Right now. I don't think. Now, things have changed a lot the last 2 days, so I could be completely wrong. 2 days ago, I would have told you there's not going to be as many overs caught this year as there normally is. Now, that could totally be wrong. Now that we've had the weather we've had and they've started to kind of group up, finally starting to get in some summer patterns, it could change. There could be more overs caught. But for me, just what I've seen going on at the lake the last couple of weeks, I'm normally a go for broke over guy. But with what I've seen, the inconsistencies and just the inconsistencies in the water column and making the fish change so much, I would try to actually target unders in this event. Has there been a deep crankbite? Yeah. I mean, not very many. You gotta. There just hasn't been a lot of fish deep yet. And like I said, things seem to change a lot today. And I didn't go deep because we were on a shallow deal today. I think there's probably going to be some fish starting to finally gather in better groups offshore. But deep crankbait is definitely a viable option. The C-Rig has been best, but a deep crankbait is definitely a viable option, especially if you want to try to win the tournament and grind that deep crankbait all day for just a few bites. You can have a really good chance of catching a really big fish on a deep diving crankbait right now. Will the rain help the fish bite during feeding times? I'll be fishing with you next week, hopefully. Yeah, I think we're looking okay to fish next week. Gabe, if you've got a trip with me next week, which, I mean, I don't know, I'll look at it this weekend and I'll be calling you anyway. But right now, from what I see, it doesn't look like we're going to have any weather that's going to cancel the trip. Like, we may have a shower that we have to dodge here or there, but I mean, I certainly haven't seen as much rain in the forecast next week as what we've been seeing every other week here recently. And we didn't really get that much rain this week. Have I thrown the flush weightless much in the wacky areas? Not really. I'm just such a believer in the wacky worm. Now, I will say that Dylan Watts, Zach Watts' son, went into one of the same areas and was throwing a weightless, I don't know which one, if it was an impact shad, a fluke, or a flush, I don't know. But he was throwing a fluke type of bait in the same areas I've been throwing wacky, and he did well on that. So it can, yeah, it can work in the same weightless plastic areas. The flush 5.2 can work as well. Absolutely. Bluegill spawn pattern still a deal right now. You know, it kind of faded for me over the last week for whatever reason. It's not time for it to go away, but it did kind of fade on me. And now seeing the fish start to do their summertime deal that I saw today, it kind of makes sense a little more. But yeah, it did. It was going really good there for a week or two, and then it kind of faded on me. It just kind of went away. Just quit getting the bites. Going to Welsh Sunday hoping the lake level is way up to get over the hydrilla. It ain't going to get all the way over all that hydrilla, but it should be pretty high. I was out there within the last week or two I went out there, and they were biting. I mean, Welsh has been fishing good. Cody May says he's going to get out on the lake this weekend and do nothing but look for rubber ducks and charge $100 a piece for them. You have to be a Skeeter Owners Tournament insider to get that joke. They do these prizes, these awesome prizes for rubber ducks. And if you find one, you bring it in and claim a prize. The Maze is going to go out there and hunt all the ducks down and then sell it to anglers for $100 a piece. That's dirty, dog. On a sea rig, do you have a set leader length? I sure do. It's about this long. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know how long that is. It's about 3.5 foot. About 3.5, maybe 4 foot. I don't know. About 4 foot. I just do this. I go, yeah, that looks right. Like, no, I don't have an exact length, but it's always about the same. It's about how long I spread my arms out when I do that. I'm not I'm not as detail oriented as I should be at times, probably, when it comes to fishing baits. Why so long? A 3.5, 4 foot leader is not long on a Carolina rig. There's Mark Pack was one of them. Eric Wright's another one. There's guys throwing 5, 6 foot leaders on a regular out here at Lake Fork. I actually probably throw one of the shorter Carolina rig leaders of the guides out here. Y'all know what I'm saying? Like a cheers, y'all. It's Thursday night. Let's go. So good. So good. When it hits your lips, it's just so good. Hopefully I got all the questions tonight. I think I actually did get all the questions tonight. If I did miss a question, drop it in there again. I'll be happy to answer whatever you got. Movement ADX off standing timber and dock edges. Yeah, if you're fishing shallow enough. You know, a lot of the water right now, if you're fishing that shallow where you'd be throwing a movement ADX, man, that's flooded cover right now. I mean, the reality is you're going to be in some junk, and then the movement ADX doesn't play. Then you're going to need to pick up that weedless swim bait. And the swim jig has been good on Lake Fork, but that swim bait, and this happens every year, when we start getting into the more summertime patterns and more summertime type bites, that hollow body swim bait is better than the swim jig once we get there. Light line fishing says probably why it doesn't work as good for me. The leader's way too short. Well, the deal is the longer the leader, the more action your bait has. The shorter your leader, the less action your bait has behind that weight. That's the general rule for Carolina rigging. Is Cody Cannon going to be at the tournament this year? He is not going to be at the tournament. Whiskey Myers, the band, is donating items to the tournament to be auctioned off and given away. But no, Cannon cannot be there. They're going to be on tour, so he can't be there. Is there a chance there's still a few girls spawning? Yeah. Yeah. Good luck finding them, though. Water's high. Water's high. Cover's flooded. Areas they're spawning where it's clear enough, they're deeper than you can see them. For the most, they're hard to see. Hard to see. And there's not very many of them. There is some left spawning, though. But just good luck finding them. Snap or drag the sea rig? A little bit of snapping mixed in with a lot of dragging. How about, is that a good answer? I'm going to mostly drag it, but once in a while we're going to snap it. Do I use clips or swivels on cranks or just tie it straight to it? I tie it straight to it. Straight to the split ring. And the 6-inch crankbaits that I use, I'm using the Cloud 9 C20 and C25, depending on the depth I'm fishing. And they come with those oval split rings that never get caught up in the little joint part, so they're really, really good split rings. Good questions. Y'all keep the questions coming, man. Y'all been killing it on the questions tonight. That's what I'm talking about. It's owners tournament weekend. We gotta go. We gotta have more questions. We gotta keep this party going, folks at home. Bassmaster Classic next week. What a great time to be back. Listen, it's a great time to be in a bass fishing right now. We got the Skeeter Owners Tournament right here on Lake Fork this weekend. Then we got a Bassmaster Classic next week. I will be at the Bassmaster Classic, no doubt about it. Yeah, good stuff. I actually am hopefully been working with Mercer and Miss Mandy over there, and hoping I'm going to have me some media credentials, get some behind-the-scenes footage at the Classic. And those videos will be coming up the week after the Classic. We'll put those out. So, good stuff. Good times. Looking forward to that. No freaking doubt about it. I'm looking forward to that. So looking forward to that. And we will do live streams every night after the Classic. Every night after the Classic, we'll be doing live streams. This Sunday, we'll do a Classic preview on our podcast. Next Thursday, we'll be live from close to Ray Roberts. We're at a buddy's house where I'll be staying. And then we'll go live on Friday night, Saturday night, and, of course, Sunday we'll have our normal podcast where we'll be live. So we'll be recapping day-to-day live coverage from the Bassmaster Classic. We're going to go get some, hopefully, like I said, behind-the-scenes footage, similar to what we did at the Elite Series event at Lake Fork. We're going to do that at the Classic, which is just going to be, that's what we're trying to do if we can get it done. It's going to be awesome. Sunday, Championship Sunday at the Classic, we'll be on the water with ZW, giving you guys on-the-water coverage, breaking down the areas they're fishing, all that kind of stuff. Should be awesome. Have I heard anything more on what SRA is doing in Little Caney, and will it be open to the public? I know I haven't heard anything more. I'm sure it's going to be open to the public. I'm sure it's going to be open to the public. It'll probably be a lot like, what's that ramp with the big pavilion down by the dam on Rayburn? The one we always launch at. I don't know why. I know the name of it. I'm just not thinking of it. But it'll be like that, where there's, you know, I think that's what they're building. I don't really know. I'm just guessing. What's that? Guessing. Whoo! And you was right. Scented dyes on C-Rig? You can. I haven't been. You can, though. It won't hurt nothing. Might help. Humphreys Pavilion, yes, on Rayburn. David G says he's going to register for our 22 kill. He's going to register for the Your Lake Fork Guide Fish Life Tournament July 3rd this week. And if he can't fish, that'll be his donation. Man, David, thank you so much. That's great. You can register for our Your Lake Fork Guide Fish Life Tournament. It's taking place July 3rd. That's our open tournament. And you can go register right now. And even if you can't make it, it'll get donated to 22 Kill, which will be awesome. Cody May says they need to dig a channel from Big Caney to Little Caney just for him. You wouldn't be the only one using it. I'll guarantee you that, Jack. Jake Morgan says, I'm late to the party, but any night fishing tips? No, man. I definitely haven't been doing any night fishing. That's for sure. Cedar Creek Freaks in the house with Super Dave. Appreciate y'all. Busting Outdoors is ready for our July 3rd Your Lake Fork Guide Fish Life Tournament. It's going to be so great. It's going to be a great time. It really is. It was a lot of fun last year, and things are starting to come together. I think it's going to be even bigger and better this year. It should be great. John Smith says, question, I'm down here in Florida where there's a lot of lily pads and thick grass. Can I run a swim jig through there, or should I just punch through it? You can run a swim jig through it if there's any kind of break in it at all. Let me tell you how to do it. A, throw that swim jig on braid. Get it like a 7.4, 7.3 medium heavy rod. Throw that swim jig on 50-pound braid. Fire that swim jig out and point the rod right down the line where the line is coming straight out of your rod. There's no angle. Like the rod and line aren't like this. The rod and line aren't like this or like this. The rod and line need to be dead straight, no angle. If you do that, that applies direct pressure to the bait. It takes the bend of the rod out of the equation, and with that no stretch braid, that swim jig will bulldog through damn near anything you want to throw it to. It's unbelievable how weedless it becomes when you do that. Hopefully that little tip will help you. I'm telling you, I see guys with swim baits and they get it bogged down in the grass. Swim jigs, they get bogged down in the stuff. If you point right at it, man, those weedless swim baits and swim jigs, they get so much more weedless and they go through. You'd be amazed what they'll go through if you do that. That little tip right there was given to me by a man named Andrew Grills, who is a great Lake Fork guide, and he actually started my guiding career, gave my first few trips via Overflow, and suggested to me that I should start. And that was a great tip he gave me on throwing swim baits back in the day. And it's really, really incredible how well it works. He's probably the best big swim bait guy that I know. Really good. Gary Payne's in the house. What's up, big dog? Busted Outdoors says, I got a tip for night fishing. Wait till the sun comes up. I don't think that's the tip they're looking for, dog. Appreciate the input, though. Oh. Nice. I like it when you guys get in conversations in the comments between yourselves. It's funny to me. It's awesome that you guys do that. It's such a cool little community. Like we always say, man, we don't have the biggest following, but we do have the best. Speaking of that, man, if you guys enjoy these live streams on Thursday nights, do me a favor, take the time right now to hit that thumbs up, please. And just keep dropping the comments and the questions. We'll keep answering. We will keep answering. And also share this thing. If you know how to share it, which I don't, so likely you are, but hopefully you're smarter than me, share this thing. Let's get some more folks in here. Last question on the C-Rig. Mono or fluoro on the leader? You know, I tend to just run fluoro, but mono does give it a little more resistance to sinking on the bait on the back end. Gives a little more action. Not a huge difference though, and I like the sensitivity and the hook setting ability of fluorocarbon. You know, one thing about a Carolina, with Carolina rig, a lot of times when you're fishing deep on Carolina rig, you got a ton of line out. So that is that much more challenging to set a hook. So I like having the straight fluorocarbon for the hook set factor. Chris McCluskey says he fished with a guy named Kent Clifton back in the late 80s, early 90s. Do I know him? I sure don't. Don't know him. Sure don't. Sorry about that. What else y'all want to talk about tonight? We've hit all the bells and whistles and plugs I needed to hit. We've answered all the questions. I guess I'm just fired up because the Skeeter Owners Tournament's here and the Classic's coming up. And I'm just talking too fast. I'm getting through all of it. Lake Fork Guidelines chip is solid. I've never hit anything running in Caney. Knock on wood. Yeah. And you won't right now for sure. The lakes are full. Over full a little bit. What do I think about Guntersville? Good question. Guntersville was on my bucket list for sure for a long time. Here's what I think about Guntersville, though, is I've watched the tournament results at Lake Guntersville. I think it's a really, really great lake. I also think it's no Lake Fork because it don't hold up to the pressure the way Fork does. And that's just I mean, some Alabama, Guntersville guy probably be mad at me for saying that. But it doesn't hold up to the pressure like some of these Texas lakes do, especially Lake Fork. The weights that they catch in tournaments there have dropped off significantly. We've yet to have a less than 100-pound winner on Lake Fork in any event. We've had several on Guntersville lately where the winner didn't break 100 pounds in a 4-day event at the top level. That just doesn't happen on Lake Fork. Guntersville has 100% been affected negatively by the pressure. I think the difference is Lake Fork has always had the pressure. So it is what it is. It's settled into what it's going to be with the pressure, and it's still the best big bass lake there is. Where's the mullet? Uh-oh. It's trying to get there. We're working on the mullet. Y'all see that? I don't know how well that's showing up. We're trying to get it there. We're working on the mullet, boys. We're working on it. It's coming. Yeah, listen. I think this thing looks stupid as hell. But you guys asked, and you shall receive. And Chris Blackman, my podcast partner, he put you guys up. Like, Chris is the protagonist of this for sure. Like, he put you guys up to it, but several of you guys said you want me to grow a mullet. So if you don't think I love you, I sure do, because I'm growing a stupid freaking mullet. Colton Deloach says, must be nice to go hair. I'm 32 and bald. Probably missed it, but are you fishing further back in creeks or is it too muddy? It's not too muddy. Yeah, you can fish in the back creeks. It's dirtier than the main lake for sure, but it's not too muddy. No. You can't, and I am fishing way back in some creeks. What's the general day going to be like on July 3rd relative to the tournament and after the tournament? So on the day on July 3rd for our Your Lake Fork Guide Fish Life Tournament benefiting 22 Kill, the tournament day is going to be just a tournament day. You're going to go out, fish the tournament, come back in. I don't remember the exact details. It's on our website what all the details are, the times and everything. I think the weigh-in's like 3 or 3:30 or whatever, normal weigh-in times. We'll have our weigh-in. Then we will have an auction of some donated items. We got some great items that we're going to preview for you guys coming up here pretty soon. So we'll have an auction where you guys can bid on items. We'll also be auctioning off partners for the Your Lake Fork Guide Invitational on Sunday, where we're going to have several other guides as well as myself and some other just buddies of mine, locals that are really good fishermen. Some of the people you guys have seen on the channel filming with me. And you can bid on your partner for Sunday's tournament at the auction Saturday after the weigh-in. And then Sunday we'll go out and fish an MLF style, every fish counts over 2 pounds tournament with whoever you bought for your partner. So that's going to be kind of a more exclusive tournament. There's not going to be near as many boats in that, but and you're going to have to buy your partner for that event. And you better bring your money, because my boy Todd Anderson, my boy TA, Todd Anderson, Todd follows Todd Anderson, have already bid on me. They have an opening bid on me. It's crazy how much it is. I don't even want to tell you because I don't want to scare you off, because you will be able to get a partner for a lot less than that. But they put a pretty big bid in. A really big. They doubled last year's winning bid for me and Cody Cannon as the partner. Busting outdoors, that's not enough. That's not enough. Have I been in a ZXR? I have not rode in a ZXR. Now, I've rode in ZXs. I've rode in ZXs and FXs and FXRs. I have never been in a ZXR. For new anglers who don't have a boat, what would be your suggestion on how to find lakes or ponds to fish? If you're in Texas, this is how you do it. You go to your area, you go to Google Maps in your area, and you just look for ponds that have names on them on the map, because the ones that don't have names are not going to be public. And some of the ones that do have names are not going to be public. But you look for ponds in the areas that look like they have some bank fish and stuff you can do. You zoom in on them, find out the name. Then you go to the Texas Parks and Wildlife website and you search that name. And if it comes up, it's public water. And that it will show you where the access is to it. How much brown water is getting drank after this tournament? All of it. However much is there. For sure. Speaking of that, cheers, y'all. It's Thursday night. Let's go. How many beers does it take before you're not fishing, quote unquote? I don't think there's enough beer in the world. After drinking brown water listen, the tolerance on you, boy, is pretty. I'm not like a braggadocious guy. Like, I'll tell you right now, I'm not the best fishing guy on Lake Fork. I'm not the best fisherman on Lake Fork, not even close. I'm not that way. You'd be hard pressed to find somebody drink more whiskey than you, boy. Like, the tolerance on you, man, is a little bit the stuff of legends. Jared Carson said he's in. You better be in, dog. I expect you to be there, homie. Good people, old Jared Carson. That's my guy. You ever come up to fish any Ozark Lakes? I have not. I've never fished the Ozark Lakes. Super Dave's going to be at the 22 kill tournament. That's awesome. That would be great, dude. I encourage all you guys to come. Even if you can't participate in the tournament, you can't bid on auction, just come and support the event, support the cause, be there, hang out with the Your Lake Fork God Nation, have a great time. It's going to be a blast. It's going to be everybody's going to have a good time at that deal. I guarantee you that. Like, if you're not having a good time at that deal, then you just got bigger problems than having good times, because it's going to be a lot of fun to be had. Hell to the yeah. David Gilmore says, I'm up on the north end of the West Fork, tried the channel by 19 bridge with no success. Any suggestions? I hate to do this to you, but yeah, download the Fish Life app, dog. Subscribe to Lake Fork Premium Package. We just updated those spots 2 nights ago. We update them every month. So yes, if you're looking for places to fish on Lake Fork, you need to go to the Fish Life app and subscribe to Lake Fork Premium Package, brother. Jared Carson says, all I have to offer is about 2 fish to weigh in and a bottle of whiskey. I'm on that coach's salary. Hey, that bottle of whiskey gets you a long way with our crowd. I can tell you, that crowd that I roll with, that bottle of whiskey will get you a lot. Can there be 3 people in a boat? 2 adults and a kid. You know what? It's our company's event, and I'm the president of that company, so we're going to make an executive decision and say, if you have a kid under the age of 17, you can have a third. That's the new rule. You're allowed to have a third if you have a kid under the age of 17. Hell yeah. Absolutely. Y'all like how I just make executive decisions without consulting my partners at all? We just do it. Troy, man, deep cranking, advantage to a glass rod. Oh, I don't like them. I don't like the glass rods. Rick Clunn doesn't use a glass rod. A lot of guys do, but I'm not a fan. The deal with a glass rod is it's going to bend further down into the rod, and that's going to create a better shock absorption deal where, you know, supposedly you won't lose as many fish. I've seen guys land a high percentage of fish on a deep crankbait, and I've seen guys lose a high percentage of fish on deep crankbait on both types of rods. I throw the regular old graphite rod. I throw the 8-foot heavy with a moderate tip 6-inch Lux Series rod, and I really like it, especially with a big crankbait. Look how big that hook is. Like, I don't need to baby them with that hook. That's a big hook. If it's a regular size crankbait, yeah, you got to have more shock absorption because the little treble hook you got on is tiny. That's a big freaking hook right there, man. Like, I can lean on them and grind them to the boat and boat flip them on that sucker right there and never give them a chance to jump off. And that's how I choose to do it. I also deep crank with an 8-to-1 reel. So, Chase Clark, careful. We're not allowed to say boat flips only. There's only one guy's allowed to say that. He'll get mad at you if you do. You gotta be careful saying that boat flips only stuff. You know, feelings are a sensitive thing in 2021. You don't want to hurt anybody's. Shots fired. No, I'm joking, obviously, but kinda. Do I have Table Rock or Lake of the Ozarks on the Fish Life app? No, we sure don't. It's local Texas lakes is what it is. It's local East Texas lakes mostly. Cody Mays says 6 cents finally made me a hat, bro. It says Netman. Yeah, that's great. Cody Mays has netted a couple big ones for me. He has, and we've only fished together like 3 times. And he's netted a couple of really big fish, including my personal best this year. Yeah. Double digits only. That's right. Let's go, baby. Never forget, folks, double digits only started here. Don't let anybody else say it. I mean, let everybody else say it. What am I saying? 8.1 cranking reel must have pop-out form. Actually, no. Like, that's the thing that I disagree with everybody on. Like, I throw that rod, I throw that deep crankbait out there, take that 8-to-1 crankbait, and I go like this. And it's as easy as you please when you're going this slow. Obviously, the reason I use it is because it's actually easier. So. Busted Outdoors, I hear you. He says, I'm just hoping to be able to catch small fish for the tournament. Fork normally produces big slots for me. I know. I'm not a fan of the 5-fish stringer tournaments with the slot, man. Because you catch 5-pounders all day and get beat by 10 pounds total. Haven't heard any liberal tears lately. We're not doing as many liberal tears nowadays, and I'm going to tell you why. The whole thing's just tears. The whole thing is just tears, and it's so bad. I have to ignore it for the most part to keep my sanity. Like, here's 10 seconds of liberal tears. Hey, liberals, your government that is in power of all 3 branches and all that is so pathetic that a man who loves this country so much that he was more than willing to die for it at one time, and still is, can't even stand to watch how y'all are running it. Y'all are so disgraceful and so shameful in the way you guys are running this country that a man who wanted and volunteered to sacrifice himself for this country can't even look at what you're doing because it's so disgusting. Go cry about it, liberals. You're disgusting. How's that for liberal tears? I'm just done with all of it, man. Such a disgrace. So much. I mean, the stuff that goes on that 70, 80% of the voting public just doesn't even know happens. This stupid crap. I'll give you another. I did this a couple weeks ago on my podcast, but this whole vax it or mask it, you ain't going to tell me what to do. Like, I'll fight for this country against you if you want to infringe on my freedoms like that, dog. Like, I mean, yeah, I'll lose and I'll die, but I'll fight. I'll go down some winging or pulling, if you know what I'm saying. It's a shame. It is a shame. See how my mood changed? Y'all got me thinking about it a little bit. Now my mood changed. This is why I just try to ignore it, man. The reality is, everybody in this country is too spoiled and too comfortable. Even our poor people. Our poor people are our fattest people in this country. We're all spoiled, myself included. My kids, my family, we're all too spoiled. And I say that because we're all too spoiled, because ain't nobody willing to sacrifice any of their own creature comforts to do anything about it when it comes down to it. Me included. Me included. We're not going to sacrifice and go do something that will affect real change in this country. Everybody's having too much fun and too comfortable. So, unfortunately, until it really truly does get so far gone that it's almost is just untenable, until people start becoming truly uncomfortable, which is coming at some point if they keep running it the way they are. It's coming. But until people get so uncomfortable that their lives are miserable, you're not going to have people motivated enough to do anything about it. So we're all just going to sit here and complain about it and piss and moan and say, well, couldn't do nothing until voting time. Yeah, if you're not willing to sacrifice anything, you can't do anything till voting time. You're right. You know, I mean, that's just the way it is. And in all reality, as much as I complain, it's not like we got it bad. Like, are they making the situation worse? And is there horrible implications for the future of this country because of the way they're running it? 1,000%. There are horrible implications for the future of this country long term, the way they're running it. Right now, on a day-to-day basis, is my life bad because of the way they're... No. Gas prices are higher. Taxes are probably going to be where inflation... Everything's getting more expensive. But the reality is, like, I'm fine. Nobody in my family's hungry. Nobody in my family's wanting for clothes or anything, comfort. Like that. We're all in good shape. And in a big part, thanks to the way they're running it, even the laziest, sorriest dogs in this country have more food, heat, house, clothes, phone, medical, blah, 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 every freaking thing they could ever want. Nobody's ever going to do anything. We're all just going to sit here and enjoy our fat, lazy, happy American lives until it's too late and things are unfixable, and then it will take a lot of misery, and possibly some death to fix it. And maybe it never gets fixed. It'll never get back to where it was at that point, probably. That's what happens to empires. That's what happens to every huge national empire in the history of this world. They get so well off that they become lazy and complacent and soft, and then they all let it go so far down the drain before they do anything about it that there is no recovering. You're never going to get back to where you were before. You're never going to be as good as you were. Happens to everybody. Yeah, that's the thing that people mistake this country, think it's going to be like this forever. This country's not old at all. Very young country. We wouldn't even, like, if we go down in the next 100 to 200 years, we wouldn't even be close to the longest running empire. Not even close. So, what have we really done, America? Nothing. Like, yes, we're the greatest country in the world, and we have been for a while, but doesn't mean it's going to stay that way. And we've done so well, so fast in our young history that we've all gotten too comfortable. Hard times make strong men. We don't have any hard times in this country. We'll see. I don't think it's going to do anything but continue to pattern the way it's patterned, and it's sad. All I can do is teach my children to have some integrity and some grit, and some drive, and determination, and some freaking mental toughness. A willingness to do the right thing even when everybody tells them it's wrong. Willingness to stand alone on the mountain and tell everybody else they're wrong, if they believe they're right. think about it, consider all sides, be open-minded. But if you believe you're right, you stand on that mountain and you tell everybody they're wrong. That's what I'm gonna teach my kids to do. If any way possible, that's what I'm gonna teach my kids to do. So, cheers, y'all. It's still America. We're still going fishing tomorrow, and it's still Thursday night. And I'll tell you this much, at least part of it will remain a truly free American country as long as I'm still breathing. The part that I'm on, the part that I'm in charge of, we'll cheers to that. The part that I reside on will remain a true, free America as long as you boys still breathing. That is something to celebrate there. Well, despite some of the less than fun notes we ended on, it has been a great live stream tonight, and I do appreciate every one of y'all joining me. We had some really good fishing tips for the owners tournament in the beginning, and I sincerely do hope that it helps you guys catch some more and bigger fish this weekend, have a good time. Can't wait to meet some of the new ones and see some of the old ones at the 22 Kill Your Lake Fork Guide Fish Life event July 3rd and 4th. It's going to be a great weekend. Please do come out. Free seminar Friday night, tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Lake Fork Marina. If you're in the area, stop by that as well. We'll have a good time, talk some more fishing, try to stay off the politics. And, man, just thank y'all. Thank y'all. I have carved out a very awesome life, in my opinion. And I really, truly couldn't have done it without all of you guys that watch and participate and all that. So, thank y'all very much. It means the world. It really does. All right. We're going to wrap it up tonight. We'll see y'all next time right here on Your Lake Fork Guide.